And it's time to echo our next guest, Sajeesh Sahadean, brand and thought leader at Atomicwork. And Sajeesh will be talking about AI agents for IT. It's the theme today, really, isn't it? Is it the distant future? Is it present reality? Well, welcome, Sajeesh. I think you're going to talk about that. Thanks for joining us today, and it's great to have you with us.
Hey, thanks, David. It's great to be here. This is a topic that's been polarized for a while. There's a lot of skepticism around agentic AI in IT. Some people are also bullish about it. So today we are going to look at whether it's all hype or is there more to it, and is it something that's not going to be relevant for a while, or is it something that can be practically used in the moment. So just to get introductions out of the way, I'm Sajeesh Sahadean. I've previously worked for an ITSM tool vendor, and before that, I've done some IT support myself. But currently, I'm a part of Atomicwork, where as part of my role, I talk to a lot of IT leaders and CIOs and also former IT leaders. And I try to collect their expertise and present it to the IT community. Now, some of those thoughts are my my original thoughts, and I also try and conduct a lot of research. So Dimitri was in an earlier session, and we recently published the State of AI in IT report in collaboration with PeopleCert and IDSM.tools. So that's those are the kind of things that I typically work on. Now, before we dive in, I'd like to understand, in your experience, like for you as a consumer, when you need to conduct research and find answer to questions, for the most part, which is your go-to tool? Is it Google? Is it ChatGPT? Or is it some other non-AI website like, let's say, YouTube or Reddit? Or do you go to another tool that's AI based like Perplexity or Gemini? Great, yeah, this is great to hear. And yeah, like I somewhat relate to some of you folks who still use Google as their go-to tool. I think like it's got its merit, but I'm pretty sure over time, as we go by, the blue links that you have to click on and open 5 new tabs and then read through them to do your research, that's going to be a thing of the past. But like, very interesting findings. I am honestly surprised. Now, for the next poll, before we dive into the heart of the topic, uh, how would you describe your current ITSM environment and IT operations? Is it very manual, and is most of the automation limited to just basic things like password resets? Do you have some automation, but again, rule based, very if this then that in nature? Or are you AI driven in pockets? For instance, let's say a chatbot for end users with ticket routing handled by some sort of an AI? Or are you in a phase where you're thinking about going to a full-fledged AI-based ITSM platform? Or like some of you might be just like very entrenched in AI and actively using AI in the ITSM and in the enterprise in general. That adds up. And funny you should mention bell curve, David, because we conducted our own research around this. Not the exact same options, but we defined levels of AI adoption. So level 1 through 5. And we exactly saw a bell curve where level 3 was the most popular. And then, as you went towards level 1 or level 5, it sort of tapered down. So good to know. Let's dive right in. This information would be helpful as we go forward. Now, this has been the state of service management, not just today, but for a while. I wanted to just paint a picture from the end user's perspective, where there are probably hundreds of SaaS tools that are used in the enterprise. And when they need to reach out to IT for support, they typically go to a portal sign in, raise a ticket, and wait for a response. And if it's an HR issue, they might have a different portal where they need to contact HR. By the time it goes to anything beyond IT or HR, they just too confused, and they end up calling their go-to person in legal or finance, or just walking up to them, right? Uh, Part of the problem is that these tools are fragmented, uh, and data is fragmented and siloed, and workflows are also isolated. So, like, these tools don't talk to each other. Workflows need to be created manually. There's a lot of manual stitching together of ticket flows and deeper downstream workflows. And uh, where we come in is we provide a single pane of glass, one-stop shop for end users with a service agent. Now, we call our AI agent Atom. And what Atom does is Atom becomes this go-to uh, assistant or go-to agent or a coworker for end users for basically all sorts of support needs. Now, some things are still too complicated and sophisticated to be handled by AI, so that is then escalated to L1 of support. But a lot of the issues that we used to categorize as L1 or some even L2 issues, Atom is able to take care of and handhold the end users, not just like spit out a 10-step knowledge base article or a condensed version of a knowledge base article, which a lot of non-tech savvy end users would bypass eventually. It essentially walks them through as you as an IT support rep would walk them through, and it does a whole lot more that uh, you do today, but perhaps not your favorite part of your job. Uh, I'm not going to spoil it too much. Let's just look at the evolution of AI. Since Atomic Work was launched, we've been very AI first in our approach. That doesn't mean we try to include AI in all features and modules just for the sake of it, but every new module that we build, or every capability that we build, or every problem that we set out to solve, we think about AI first, and we try to work at it from first principles and see how it can be solved in a more efficient fashion with AI, rather than building traditional architecture and then slapping on a layer of AI on top like a chatbot. So when ChatGPT was launched, uh, when the very first version of ChatGPT was launched, it was great. It You could ask it questions, it could give you answers, but what it was doing under the hood was mainly predicting the next token, right? It used to hallucinate a lot, but for the most part, it used to give us a lot of helpful answers as well. All in all, it felt fairly magical, at least in my personal experience. It was way better than anything we had seen before. Then within the enterprise, so like we have tried to keep up at Atomic Work with the latest models and latest innovation that has been launched. And with LLMs and a combination of LLMs and RAG, essentially retrieval augmented generation, with we could ground the language model and ground the AI assistant in your enterprise data. What that means is, rather than giving a vague answer by just looking up the question on the internet and looking at all of the world's knowledge, it would go to the right knowledge base article, or if it was a legal question query, it would go to the right policy document, and then synthesize the answer and provide it to your end users. Very simple question and answers. Next came reasoning models. These were a bit smarter, uh, and they had chain of thought. They could basically uh, deconstruct a complex task into steps, and it could also deconstruct a complex problem into step-by-step solutions. and it could reflect on the solution. And if it felt that it wasn't highly optimal, it could essentially come back with a better solution. Now, this is an example of how it works. And if you notice here, the user asked who is eligible for Salesforce access, and the answer is essentially sales folks, marketing folks, customer success teams, and all of these other teams. The second question is, am I eligible? Now, the question lacks specific context, but let's see if the assistant or the AI agent is able to infer context from the first message. Looks like it is. I'm a part of the marketing team, so I am eligible. Can I get access? Sure, please fill out this form, but the form is pre-filled, of course, but I just need to select the role, which is the level of access I need on Salesforce, and it's able to start the workflow. So if, let's say, your approval policy mandates that the approval needs to go to my reporting manager, looks like Olivia has already approved it. The approval notification would also be sent through Teams or Slack, whichever you're using. So it's a single click approve, and I have access to Salesforce. Now, traditionally, this would have taken a service request, and an IT agent would have needed to check for my eligibility and then add me to Okta, and then send me an invite for Salesforce through Okta or an equivalent tool. Next came multimodal models. I'm going to speed up a little. So until now, you'd been chatting with AI, essentially text-based prompts and text-based responses. For the first time, you could talk to it verbally, right? Like it had voice capabilities, it had vision capabilities. So you could feed it an image or a screenshot of an error, or you could share your screen with it, and it could make sense of what it was looking at, which was really great. Now, before I play you this next video, just in case you're multitasking, you might want to stop and pay attention to this. This is probably one of the coolest things you'll see all day. So trust me.
Hey, I'm Adam. How can I help you today?
Hi, Adam.
Hey, how can I help you today?
Adam, I'm trying to prepare for a presentation and I have my Zoom open right now. I need to be able to share my iPhone screen as a part of my demo and I can't figure out how to do it on Zoom. Can you help me?
I can definitely help with that. To clarify, are you trying to share your iPhone screen while using the Zoom application on your computer?
Yes, on my Mac, that's right.
Okay, got it. I'm going to check our knowledge base for the best way to share your iPhone screen on Zoom from your Mac. Okay, I didn't find any specific articles in the knowledge base for sharing your iPhone screen on Zoom from your Mac, but not to worry, I can still guide you through the process. Have you already tried connecting your iPhone to your Mac with a cable?
I don't have a cable with me, but perhaps it might be easier if I share my screen with you and you can walk me through the steps.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Please go ahead and share your screen, and I'll walk you through the steps.
All right. I'll share my whole screen with you, and you should be able to see the Zoom window that I have open right now.
Okay, I see your screen now. You have Google Chrome open. Can you bring the Zoom window to the front?
Yep, do you see it now?
Yes, I see the Zoom meeting window now. At the bottom of the Zoom window, do you see a share screen button? It's a green button with an arrow.
Yep, I'm going to click it right now. What do I do here?
Okay, now that you've clicked share screen, a window with different sharing options should have popped up. Do you see a window titled Screen Share with options like Screen, Whiteboard, and specific application windows?
Yes. What do I do here?
Great. Now at the top, do you see a tab labeled Advanced?
Yes, I see that.
Great, click on Advanced. Now, do you see an option that says iPhone/iPad via cable?
I see the one via cable, and I also see the one via AirPlay. Should I choose the one with AirPlay because I don't have a cable?
Since you don't have a cable with you, let's try the iPhone/iPad via AirPlay option. Go ahead and click on that.
All right. And I hit share, right?
Yes, after selecting iPhone/iPad via AirPlay, click the share button in the bottom right corner of the screen share window.
Okay. What do I do now? I see some instructions.
Now follow the instructions displayed on the screen. On your iPhone, swipe down from the top right corner to access the control center. Then tap screen mirroring and select Zoom Radev's iMac from the list. Does that make sense?
It does, and I see it. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to try this out.
Okay, take your time. Let me know if you encounter any issues.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Adam. That worked. Thank you so much.
Great, I'm glad I could help. So to summarize, you can share your iPhone screen on Zoom from your Mac by connecting to the same network, accessing screen mirroring on your iPhone, and selecting your Mac. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
This was really great.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help. Have a great presentation.
Thank you. Bye.
For decades, one of the problems that IT organizations has been facing or trying to solve with end users is self-service adoption, right? At Atomicwork, we have adopted Atom, and this is particularly the universal agent so holistically. And just to give you a personal example, the other day I was looking for a credit that that I was supposed to receive from a vendor on Brex. I'm new to Brex, so I didn't know how to look for that, and I asked Atom, and basically Atom walked me through the process and showed me a list of transactions. Turns out it's almost like your bank statement. It's within the transaction, but it has a minus next to the amount. It's that simple. It's almost embarrassingly simple, but that's the whole point. Like, I would never have asked a colleague for something that simple, right? Like, I would have probably gone on Google, gone on a knowledge base article, or found a knowledge base article from Brex, then looked at the steps and come back and followed the steps, right? But that's the whole point. Like, because of Atom, I was able to get out of my own way, get the answer within a minute, literally, and then get on with my work. So that was just one example, but like, we've been just sharing it on LinkedIn about our respective use cases, and then it's super relevant and practically useful technology. Moving on to the next phase of AI agents, in addition to just doing one step or walking end users through the process, these agents had memory and would be able to set a goal. You would be able to set a goal for them, and then it would be able to call different tools and different agents from different SaaS applications, and also correct itself in the process if required. Now, all of the other videos don't have sound, so don't worry about about bandwidth or audio, but do try to keep up with what's happening on the screen. So now this is a scenario where this person has an upcoming call. They work at Atomicwork. They have a call with Acme, and right before the call, they want to check with Atom about Acme and do a quick research.
Yeah, here's a response. Like recently, this customer like the customer sent to a demo, and then there's all the contact from senders,
from Salesforce, from all the other CRM solutions. So in essentially a quick summary, you were able to get all of that, and also the talking points for the call, which is pretty incredible. And your sales counterparts are going to love this. And now something for IT, because why should sales have all the fun? So this is a change agent. So like, this is essentially the Atomicwork dashboard with incidents, problems, changes. And as an IT person, I would be able to open a change and basically do a risk analysis on the change. Okay, so this is a change request for an OS upgrade, org-wide OS upgrade from Windows 10 to 11. and with one click, I did a risk analysis, and it's able to give me a high level view of the change, but like it also has information about the assets through CMDB. In this case, it says that the assets involved would be all of the laptops and desktop computers running on Windows 10, which is accurate. And it says it affects IT teams, end users, and security operations. Again, spot on. And there would be no expected impact on BYOD devices or virtual desktops, uh, which is amazing. And it's not just a search interface; you could chat with it. So essentially, if you're working on a problem and you want to conduct root cause analysis, you could use it as a brainstorming buddy to essentially narrow down the pool of potential root causes, and then and then further dissect the root cause, and leverage all the intelligence that is on the system through this single pane of glass. Now let's see an example of how you would.
Okay, there's a question about, have there been any prior update in the traditional? Then, of course, like most update the traditionals, and you see
what happened the last time a similar change sort of was conducted. And lastly, computer use agents, like we've seen agents that would handhold end users. The next frontier is going to be an agent where you give it the goal and it's going to just take control of the screen and perform those steps. Just like you as an IT agent would remotely access the screen, the experience for the end user would be pretty much the same, except that these are issues that no one would reach out to IT for today, and even if they do, these are things that that you dislike doing. Or okay, this is about a reimbursement request for a client lunch, and it's going to use a tool. So that's the other thing about AI based integration. So unlike integrating a tool like Navan, for instance, through API and laying out all the wiring, AI is able to use the computer and use SaaS applications on the computer, irrespective of which software it is. So data silos are certainly a thing of. And on the left, you'll see logs, because like, it's important for audit purposes, and all of the activity of the Atom is sort of logged in the back. So like just in case something went wrong, you know what to do, and which knowledge base article to go back and correct in case Atom gives an incorrect answer. Now, if let's say there's an authentication or login required, it would hand the control back to the end user. If there's a payment required and the user needs to enter credit card information and so forth, it would hand the control back. But all of the basic steps it would be able to take care of. And if you're an Atomicwork customer, this is coming to you very soon. It's this version is just for internal use only, but yeah, this is something I'm personally very excited about. Okay, all of it was done by the computer use agent. It's just a bird's eye view of everything that happens. Essentially, there's an ensemble AI, and depending on the use case and depending on the specific requirement for the AI model, we call upon the AI model based on what it's required for. So these are all the channels, and if a new ticket comes in, there is routing. So like first of all, understanding the intent of and understanding whether it's an incident or a service request in the first place, and routing it to the right person, and approvals, and re-rank, providing answers to questions. All of those are optimized based on the best model for the specific use case.
Sajeesh, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks, David.
Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Sajeesh.
everyone.